Yeah, Larry, thanks again for joining the interview today. And I guess the first thing I know everyone would love to hear is a little bit of your background and your story. I don't know if you could tell us a little bit about your journey in academia.
Well, currently I'm at my first assignment out of grad school, Marymount University in Arlington, Virginia. Um, I am a tenure-track faculty where I teach entrepreneurship mostly and strategy every once in a while.
Mhm.
I am one of the inaugural faculty in our doctoral program. We have a Doctor of Business Administration program where I
Mhm.
train um, and teach um,
Mhm.
practitioner academics, the scientific method, and how to approach problems in industry with
Right.
empirical evidence before they make decisions.
That's
And
awesome. Mhm.
um, so I am truly in the space of education as well as research. And my
Mhm.
research area is in the space of sustainable systems and how do you
Mhm.
design sustainable systems. And that includes our physical systems like housing to computation and digital artifacts
Mhm.
to understanding and modifying our natural systems and the cycles that go through it, going into the decarbonization space and aligning
Mhm.
water and other things for our precious resources, but also our social systems. How do we design better
Mhm.
organizations? How do we design better societies so it's more fair, equitable across the board and across the community? And that's where my expertise lies, both in practice as
Mhm.
well as some of the things I like to research about.
It's awesome, Larry. I love that. You're touching like on the different levels. Yeah. Is there any particular project that you're really, proud of that you're working currently on that you'd like to share?
Well, one project that
Mhm.
I'm working on is expanding entrepreneurship and innovation on campus.
Mm.
Um, I'm in year 3 on the tail end of a National Science Foundation grant called the EPIC grant. Well, where from the last 2.5 years, uh, myself, PI, that's an engineer, and we've had 4 other faculty that's joined us in various locations, all tied to design, entrepreneurship, and innovation.
Right.
And we've gotten smart, done some research, benchmarking, and how our institution, Marymount, can
Mhm.
create an identity in the DC area where we are, where we're like a small fish in an ocean of big players like American University, George
Mhm.
Washington, George Mason, Catholic, John Hopkins is up the street. Some of the big names in the elite schools are surrounding us.
Right.
Um, Yet we still need to maintain and provide services and value of education to our
Absolutely.
community population as well.
Mhm.
So to create this identity, um, for the past few years, we've been doing initiatives, holding workshops, doing some research on how we can leverage
Mm.
the whole university to teach entrepreneurship, design, or innovation.
Interesting.
And currently, we've we've done a great job at now entrepreneurship is created as a full major or specialization. That's the word that we're
Wow.
using now. We've got to that level. And now that's on the book for university curriculum. Um, we're proposing to hold entrepreneurship, the principles of entrepreneurship, as a core for all business students. And
Wow.
that's the first step. But our initial goal,
Mhm.
and we're leading towards this, is to get entrepreneurship in front of everyone on campus. And
Right.
so this last tail part of our initiative is for um, the training staff that I've created with our faculty group, this small task force that has been trained at Stanford's design school in their design and teaching learning studio.
Mhm.
Had some people go to Babson to learn about entrepreneurship education and how to create the workshops and teaching around that. And we're merging all of this to share with all the faculty at Marymount how they, in their unique disciplines, can teach entrepreneurship or innovation from their discipline. I.e., you think
Wow.
about a biologist bringing in this tool that we use, the Flourishing Business Canvas, that talks about ecosystem stocks and ecosystem maintenance. How do procurement officers in businesses understand where to source, how to maintain, and keep an ample supply of their raw materials? That's an entrepreneurship problem. When you're trying to fit into a market, you need to know, where am I going to get my raw materials? What is the
Mhm.
current stock? Is this something that's going to be scarce? And right now, we're in a place where scarcity is becoming more abundant, especially in these times where we're having war, and oil, one of the most expensive and most needed sources and non-renewable, is being destroyed at this time. So we're living in a world now where scarcity is becoming more of an issue for natural
Yeah.
resources, in order for us to sustainably keep these products and services that we all appreciate around the globe.
Yeah.
So teaching biologists their relativeness to the entrepreneurial process not only gives them this entrepreneurship mindset to
Mhm.
obtain, but it also helps them understand in the future where they're going to work, possibly. Because no matter if you're a biology major, chemistry major, physics major, a theater major, you're more than likely, once you finish college, are looking to work for an organization and to work for someone, or you're going to try to build your own. So it's
Yeah.
best to know where you can relatively fit into the system, while also providing people with this entrepreneurial mindset. Teaching them how to be nimble, how to think on their toes, how to think critically. All of those are skills and habits that are needed by our best successful entrepreneurs, but those are also skills that could be transferred to just everyday humans to make them even better.
That's
and
amazing.
and I use your product to enhance this experience as well, the startup wars.
Wow. Yeah, that's so interesting, Larry, because I think entrepreneurship is one of those things that it can be applied anywhere, no matter what the discipline is, right?
Yeah.
Uh, I myself, I majored in education, and it's like you said, at least when I went to college, the idea was for me to become an educator. Um, but no one ever asked me if I wanted to become an entrepreneur of education, and I think I would probably made good use of this new initiative you're looking at.
Or no one ever considered you as a designer, right? And
Yeah, yeah,
but we
exactly.
but we love to use the language of, you're an educational designer
Yeah.
over in
Oh,
education.
I like that. I like that moniker. That's great. I'm really glad you're looking at bringing entrepreneurship and especially helping faculty of different disciplines, because I think every student should know that no matter where their interest lies, there is an opportunity to solve problems using
Mhm.
entrepreneurship as a channel, right?
Yeah.
And in that sense, Larry, how would you describe like your teaching philosophy when it comes to entrepreneurship? Like, how do you structure like a program? Is it like collaborative learning? Like, I don't know. What can you tell us about that?
Sure. I would tell you, in all transparency, my first few years. Oh, let me pretext that
Yeah.
this is my 5th year, and at the end of April, I go up for tenure.
Okay.
But in
Congrats.
my in my 4.5 years of
Mhm.
teaching entrepreneur, and this is my first assignment,
Mhm.
um, I was scared, lost, and insecure, and halfway, I don't know what I'm doing. But in all transparency, they teach us well how to write papers in doctoral programs, but nobody ever teaches us how to teach. So we learn the hard way. But in that's why it's always good to just be curious and serendipitously meet people like you and Jed, that actually you all help me. You all help me
Oh.
Well, what can I do? Oh, that sounds too easy. Let me do this. Let me grab this. And we build from that. We build our resources based off of the relationships that we make.
Mhm.
Just as an entrepreneurship, just in true effectual entrepreneurship does. So early on, it was um, teaching it from what I knew as an entrepreneur,
Mhm.
because I launched a few businesses and it was about some of the structural things, getting the LLC. But post Babson Education Symposium of
Mhm.
Entrepreneurship Educators, I have more than enough. I know how to create a whole syllabus, a whole semester, just using one of the tools that we have, the Flourishing Business Canvas, to teach students how to build their ventures,
Right.
understanding 6 components that they need to address, which is mostly um, the 9 that Osterwilder's business canvas did, the internal parts
Mhm.
of the business, the revenue model, your value proposition.
Mhm.
But we've expanded it because, as I mentioned, we're in this world of scarcity and that we need to keep our eyes on
Oh
the
yeah.
natural resources, and we need to keep our eyes on our people, what's happening in society, what are people doing. You
Right.
bring up those conversations while you're building your venture, because those are going to be your hypotheses.
Mhm.
Because what I teach in entrepreneurship now is to affordable loss. No, you don't want to take $1 million loan from someone with a 13% interest rate just because they said they can get it to you. I know it sounds great,
Yeah.
but you got to pay that back. Can you pay that back? Do you have the resources to pay that back? If
Yeah.
no, think about whether you want to make that risk.
I love that.
And there's better ways that you can approach it,
Mhm.
where you bring in the money when you need it the most, not when you think you need it. And
Oh,
so
I love
giving these little tips, and then the startup wars actually enhances that, because they are placed in situations where they get an opportunity to get the loan. And
that.
this where I'm able to bring in the context.
Right.
Did you did you take the loan because you were just so glad, just like a consumer, that you got some credit? And my whole goal in entrepreneurship now is to reframe and transform your mind from the consumer mind to the producer mind.
Oh,
And that's how I prompt startup wars.
wow. Can I quote you on
And,
that?
and startup wars is day 2. Day 1 is, welcome, let me get your name, this is the
Mhm.
syllabi, this is the syllabus. And then day 2, when you ask about my approach, it's exploratory first, experience, then reflection and learning.
I love
that
that.
that that is this new approach that I've taken. And not only am I seeing the students are way more engaged, um, and
Mm.
they appreciate it too, and they get those feelings, and I talk to them of like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing, but Dr. Clay just said play startup wars. How do you play this? The directions, it'll walk you through. Play, go through it. And I always preface it with the fail fast
Mhm.
theme, and give the 75 to 90% failure rate. Get used to it, embrace failure. And how do you embrace failure? Fail,
Yes.
fail, and then feel it. Feel that failure. I want you to feel it. And I want you to get mad at the startup wars after the second and third time. I want you to get mad. And I give them on the first day the big challenge. And they're aware. After first day, I said, your goal on day 1, I'm throwing you in the ocean. You're going to tell me how well of an entrepreneurship student and person that you are, and if you have the mind, and if you're going to have it just like this. I want to see how well you do it. So I'm going to throw you in a venture of your choice,
Mhm.
and I need you to pass 3 goals before class ends. hour 15 minutes, and they get through it. And
Wow.
no one gets to 100 in that minute and 15. And so it's like that rule that, oh, I know you're going to fail. I know you're not going to get the 3 100s on your
Mhm.
in the hour 15 minutes, but I want you to try, and I want you to learn about failing up front.
Right.
And then we have then afterwards we have the debrief, and then we get the reason why and get the context, and we get the lesson. And this exploratory experience, then you get the lesson format. Both Stanford and Babson, uh, they really amplified that type of approach to
Right.
education. And now that I'm able to do it in practice, I'm seeing the reason, and beyond the empirical, and that this was already studied and there's
Mhm.
research around this. But I like this approach because I feel more engaged with the students with this approach, and
Wow.
they tend to resonate with me. It's I get more students talking to me as people than I do in some of my other classes. Where I don't know if you all ever
Mhm.
had experience. Well, you all were probably undergrads at some time too. You
Mhm.
all don't like talking to your professors as much in undergrad.
Not too much, no.
Yeah, you're like, oh, he doesn't call on me. But we have nice it promotes a lot
Mhm.
of conversations, and something that's even more important, it sparks curiosity and questions. It's like, so why did we do it this way? And why did it work like this? And how did you know we were going to do this? How did you know we were going to fail 3 times at taking it? Uh,
Yeah.
if I told you I knew the programmers and they told me you were going to fail anyway, you'll probably hate me. But it's just a reflection of how entrepreneurship really is.
Yep.
It's going to be a part. You're going to get lemons thrown at you probably every hour, every day that you're in the business. But at the end of it, it's about pivoting and building the resilience in yourself to maintain
Love that.
and make those sustainable decisions. And so at the end of the semester, Startup Wars is part one of the final. Part two of the final is the actual pitch of the
Oh,
innovation
right.
they worked on for the whole semester. Um,
Yeah.
but the but Startup Wars is revisited again. It's the final, and yes, I encourage them throughout the semester to practice failing throughout the
Mhm.
year and get the hang of failing. And at some point, you're going to get frustrated because you know you want all 250,000 of your points, because that's how much the final is. 250,000 points. It's 1,000,000 points to get an A in the class.
Oh,
950,000 to 1,000,000 points. So
gotcha.
it makes it so amplified that, wow, I got to do a lot, just like a video game. And
Yep.
so I gamify the whole class in the whole semester to make it fun and engaging and like a game. And students love playing games, especially if it's
Oh,
part of the
yeah.
class. So it's the same criteria. In an hour and 15 minutes,
Mhm.
you have, I want to see you pass. I want to see you not go bankrupt in 90
Mhm.
days, and you satisfy all three. And I have a few students on the tail end that go ahead and they do satisfy, and they do with it. And I would say maybe close to a half. But
That's
again, I give just a little grace, and those that might be 100,
mhm.
they'll get maybe 50,000 points deducted. If it's 50, it's a certain reduction in points at the end.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, a lot of students make A's because they're engaged, they're in class, and those are the things that also bring you points and participation.
I love that. I'm really happy to see, more professionals of education including elements of gamification, because that really encourages people. Even as an adult, I learned through I'm learning French through Duolingo, and even if it's just like 5-10 minutes a day, seeing myself on the leaderboard, getting points, going like outranking my friends who I have in there, it's encouraging. And it's so great that you're able to apply that to your class as well. I mean, I'm sure your students appreciate it and get value from it as well, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's one class I don't mind going to. It's like I'm a teacher. Oh, this is so awesome. I'm I'm more of an entertainer in front of you all, getting the chance to pick your brain and give just a little hazing on you, a little academic hazing.
No, but I think it makes a lot of sense, Larry. When I was pursuing my bachelor's, I wanted to be a teacher, right? At least, at that time. And I think I learned more from my student teaching, which was like a 6-month period, than the whole like 3-4 years of my regular like coursework, right? Because I think learning by doing is really the best way. And I think that it's great that you embrace failure as a way that to learn and to take lessons from it. I interviewed another instructor, a very nice person from New York City, and the way he looks at it is failure. He looks at it as iterative learning, where every time you fail, you learn from that, you pick yourself up, and then you become a better person because of that. So I'm really glad that iterative nature has worked for you, like in terms of the simulations, but seems to me like your overall mindset is that failure is not a bad thing. Is that accurate?
Yeah, and this was Charles Babson quote almost 100 years ago. He said, "Failure is just like success. It's only temporary."
Yeah, I like it.
So if you keep that mindset, nobody's 100% successful all the time.
Yeah.
Even the most successful people had to deal with failure.
Yep.
And success is temporary. You're only at the top for so long. But treat failure as something temporary too. Unless you stay in this condition that I'm a failure, I'm nothing, that's not a good place to be mentally. But failure can be overcome, and you can pivot.
Amazing. Larry, thanks so much. We're almost up to time here, but I did want to ask just one final question. Do you have any words of wisdom for people out there who are looking to get into the field of teaching entrepreneurship, based on your experience as an almost tenure-track professor? What would you say to anyone who wants to get into the field?
I would say, come and build. Yes, and come and build. We are highly encouraging you to come and collaborate with us, to stimulate the collective entrepreneurship mindset. That's my mission. That's my cause. I am an ecosystem builder.
You're a builder.
And my main mission goal in life is to create the entrepreneurship support system to make better entrepreneurs and better ventures.
Wonderful. I love it. Wow, Larry, thank you so much. This was really wonderful. I think not only the people who see this are going to learn, I think we learned from you today as well. And as usual, any feedback that you have for us, we're happy to work on it. In the end, that's really how we build the product. So yeah, thanks so much for your time.
And thank you. And I just wanted to ask, you all are based in Philadelphia, right?
We're in Philly, yeah.
Okay. I want to think of some ideas over this summer on how we can engage or might do something for AOM. Academy of Management is going to be in Philadelphia this summer. Yeah. And I'm a part of the entrepreneurship. We call them DIGs, divisions. Okay. and I'm also part of several other divisions, management consulting being one of them.
Okay.
It's something there. I don't know what yet. We can explore and brainstorm, but
Okay.
I want to engage. I want to either get more visibility and awareness to startup wars, or a tutorial or something that we can do with the entrepreneurship community within AOM.
I would love that.
Or the management consulting, which are the academic practitioner base, and some of the people that are in that division might be like the director of an innovation hub or an accelerator or something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm also talking to Ben Solomon, who's the CEO of FedTech. FedTech is the government's incubator. They're just right down the street from Marymount. They house and manage 18 research centers across the nation.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I was sharing him about your product, and I think that this might be a good tool for early founding members, adults that are looking to be founding members in one of the incubator or accelerator programs that they have. This could be a cool tool that they can engage to. Let's do a simulation of a t-shirt company and see how you make your decision, and it'll help potential people who are potentially wanting to be in the founding team pool and get paired with certain products that are available that they're looking to commercialize. That can be an instrument to use to kind of sort out to see how well the entrepreneurship or the producer line is.
Yeah.
I don't know this. I'm just thinking while I'm.
No. It's great. Let me. I'll relay that info to Jedi. And in fact, Larry, since I assume you're going to be here physically in Philly. We'd be happy to let's make a lunch date and we'll make it happen.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, I can come up there sometime. I would say anytime after April 29th. Because that's my, well, I would say May 2nd.
May 2nd.
That's the last final. That's the entrepreneurship final. That's my last final for the semester. After May 2nd, I can breathe out 13 dissertations, defended, papers written, and I go into my incubation.
Okay.
And so after my week incubation, you have graduation, and then I'm free for the summer. So I can hop on a train one day and come up there, and we can have lunch. And talk and
absolutely.
And AOM is that last week of July rolling into August. And that gives us some time to brainstorm and stuff.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I'm open to that.
And I know a really good Italian place. So if you like Italian, we'll take
say less. Say less. It's lamb chops for me. I'm a lamb chop, Italian lamb chops.
Sounds good, my friend. I'll talk with Jedi. Maybe we can coordinate. But yeah, let's for sure make something happen for AOM. I love it.
Okay.
All right.
Well, thank you for this opportunity.
Yeah. Thank you, Larry.
Nice to meet you, Andy.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Larry. Thank you.
All right, make sure you get my good side too when you do the pictures.
Make sure of that.
All right.
Thank you, my friend.
See you all soon.
Good one.